Hi, welcome in. Today we're watching a video about one of the scariest predators on Earth. It's fascinating and a little scary.
Some animals very clearly got the middle finger from evolution. This is the portrait of privilege. There is no animal that's gotten more green lights from God than a bulletproof, sawtoothed, predatory sledgehammer with hyperintelligence.
Wait, I'm not an expert about with like animals and stuff, but is this normal? Is this normal, chat? This is over average, I guess. This one is huge. This one is that's a chunker.
Sledgehammer with hyperintelligence, parkour prowess, and the ability to cryo-sleep like Captain America. Yeah, that menace is alive. Find out if you want to. Brumation's pretty much hibernation for reptiles. Basically a built-in power save mode for animals that already don't use much of it. But it means this is an apex predator that can survive a fate with Elsa, cause gators and the like can survive a winter in a frozen pond by turning their metabolism all the way down, where they'll just stick their snouts above water and leave the rest under the ice where it's actually warmer until fate decides to defrost them. Mind you, brumation's not sleep, and gators will move around on days when it's warmer, but it also means this ill-mannered iceberg can probably...
Why is the human species like that? Like, you have like this predator, and it's like, yes, it looks a little bit goofy, it looks a little bit silly, has its cute little nose out of the water. Don't touch it! Don't open its mouth! What is wrong with you? That's a pet of my cousin. Damn, that's some crazy work. The gators are tank class.
Sense you walking past it, thanks to another superpower we'll get into later. Cause you're gonna learn that not only is the mame gecko the most disrespectful addition to the food web, it is humanity's greatest predator. And whatever Oppenheimer felt when Hiroshima got hit with a massacre mushroom isn't even 1% of the regret felt by whoever unleashed an armor-plated equalizer onto Earth. But real quick, I'm gonna be saying crocodiles for most of this video, but a lot of this applies to crocodilians as a concept.
Okay, let's see.
I cannot...
No! I wanted to check this list. Okay, I have no clue what the difference between a crocodile, a caiman, whatever this goofy, freaky ass crocodile fish thing should be, and a gator is. I have no clue. I'm going
to be saying crocodiles for most of this video, but a lot of this applies to crocodilians as a concept. I cannot express how much every part of a crocodile's body is designed to author your obituary, and that includes its walnut-sized brain. Because crocodiles are intelligent on a level that should deeply disturb you. Both mugger crocodiles and American alligators will lure birds in by using sticks and twigs as bait to snatch their souls. That would already be bad enough.
That's kind of nice.
The implication. The implication is that Satan's Snaggletooth stapler is able to take seasonality into account, since they're aware enough to pull this in the middle of nesting season. They're like Batman with prep time, except they've had 100 million years to plot. Another revelation is that...
Well, okay, this bird has like, I don't know, this bird has like the life instinct of a bird, like, but I don't know, like, a stupid one. You can't just walk over a crocodile and be like, oh yeah, that's completely fine.
The dinosaur time left behind will hunt as a pack, with scientists watching a group of crocs swimming in a circle around a shoal of fish, making the circle tighter and tighter until the fish were forced into a bait ball, just for the chompy boys to take turns cutting across the center of the circle to get their share of fish. There's another example where a massive saltwater crocodile scared a pig into running into a lagoon, where it was immediately jumped by two smaller crocs waiting. Now, the implication there is somehow...
That's some team play, that's some teamwork. Imagine my teammates in the ranked games would be as good as this freaking crocodiler guys. Like, holy, that's some teamwork. Got the pigs. But no, my teammates... They're just washed. They're just washed.
The giant salty knew exactly what direction to force the pig. Crocs have been doing this. It's just, as expert Vladimir Dene will tell you, it's incredibly difficult to study an animal that does its damage in the water. Because if you're in the water studying hunting crocodiles, chances are they're also studying you, and their thesis statement is your headstone engravement. Vlad has put in over 3,000 hours.
Chat, if you would come in my sharkarium and be like trying to learn things about me, figure out stuff about me, I'm gonna figure out stuff about you. I will hunt y'all down. Peacefully, obviously.
Of watching crocs and has witnessed things like a stronger, heavier croc driving fish to shore with smaller, more agile teammates hawking cornered fish. Now you might ask, how do the crocs share their victims? And honestly, that might be more unsettling than how they murk them. Chris Campbell was a contractor for the Okefenokee Wildlife Reserve, which meant over a decade of watching what a neighbor gator is capable of. One day he showed up to work with 60-something gators posted up by the boat docks. What he described were
Chat. Who wants to swim from one to the other side's chat? Who's gonna do it? Wait, you need some motivation to do it. Wait, what was that? No balls. Just jump on them. Well, that might work in the cartoons. I think they would just shred you midair. Stop hitting me!
Was to corner them, and the other group in the background resting, or more like waiting. Because whenever a gator from the hunting party caught a fish, he'd immediately retire to the waiting group, and one of the waiting crocs would sub in and take his place. This went on for hours, until it got hot enough for them to clock out and go their ways. But when Campbell went back the next morning, like clockwork, the morning crush was still there. Same time, same place, same agenda. That's a level of teamwork and foresight most people aren't willing to accept from a prehistoric snap trap. But your ignorance ain't bliss, in fact it's what sustains them. In many spots in Africa and Australia, people are warned never to get water from the same place more than once, and
well, I mean, Australia is a different place. I mean, what the hell is wrong with Australia? I mean, I'm kind of fine. I'm kind of fine with that one because they're kind of the carry. Imagine all the things they have in Australia would lurk around here, like in Europe or like somewhere around. I don't want that shit here. They can keep it, but there are big, ugly, poisonous spiders, snakes, gators, scorpions, every other weird, ugly, poisonous, dangerous creature, and kangaroos are based there. They are still of Dino Age with those big spiders and stuff. For real. Australia is simply hardcore mode. It is.
Definitely not pass twice. It's because crocodiles will memorize patterns and clock your daily routine, and getting too predictable around a professional camper means the croc will take note, just to ambush you the next chance they get, and they'll use very little energy to do it. It's also why studying them is like edging death. Choose the same spots repeatedly, and at best, the croc notices and avoids you with no regard for your research. And at worst, Senor Snappy studies your habits enough to put a halo around your head. That's a real PhD, which makes the crocodile a gift-wrapped FU to any creature of habit, and why the most dangerous kind of croc is actually an investigator. But if you watch this video, you could be the smartest thing missing a spine. You'll still be a living doormat if you don't have the hardware to back it up. And no animal has more disrespectful hardware than a motion-activated bear trap.
Interesting. No! It's crazy how big they are. I mean,
Crocodile is the most—
I don't know. You see, maybe you see a picture of them once, or like you see them in a movie, but they never look like that big. But now I've seen this other creatures. I don't know what kind of cow family thing that was, but if you see the relation from like how big this dinosaur is, what the hell? Stay away from me, please.
Physically unfair predator on Earth, because virtually every body part has been expressly designed to flatline you. They have the strongest recorded bite force of any animal, at 3,700 pounds per square inch, making its jaw a steel trap, capable of damage on par with victims of war. But Maturing's realizing it's the teeth as much as the jaw. Sharks have serrated teeth to slice through prey. Short
man shunt. Shark.
death cones designed to keep prey in its custody, meaning if a leather log bites you, you have the lowest chance of escape, which gets worse when the croc proceeds to drown you, and with crocs being able to hold their breath for up to 2 hours, trust that you'll pass tense long before he does.
2
The only
hours,
thing with those
then.
teeth is
That's
they're
a
great for
lot.
grabbing, useless for chewing, so they'll slam prey into chunks and swallow them whole, which leads to the most broken finishing move of any animal, the death roll. But crocs also have the most acidic stomach of any animal and can dissolve bones, horns, and hooves. But they're also bloodbenders with a heart that controls.
Not every mention of shark is about you, you know? Ooh, that's not how it works. If I hear shark, then it's about me. Then it's about me. It has to be about me. It's like shark. I am shark. That can't be something else. I am shark. Yeah. You have to like and appreciate the shark.
Exactly where the blood goes, and a feeding croc will direct blood to its stomach, so the carbon dioxide in it only makes the acid more corrosive. And good luck fighting back when nature made an evolutionary aggro weapon borderline bulletproof. Crocodiles are covered in osteoderms, and armor plating blocks the teeth of other animals from doing damage, which is why there's more than one case of a croc tanking a gunshot, but the nasty work is what you can't see. The scales are said to manipulate water in a way that means a 20-foot problem doesn't make ripples. The osteoderms create countercurrents that cancel out any disturbances made in the water. Basically cloaking technology, but in a steroid reptile.
Okay, this is nice. I mean, it's not nice that we might be the prey for, like, you know, but that's some crazy work. I mean, you wish for that, but if I say stupid shark, you say that doesn't reference, so that's a fair point. That's fair. Oh no, the shark documentary. Then, oh shark, it's me. Oh, another shark, it's me. It's all me. It's all me, chat. I am the documentary.
The same osteoderms can store heat for when it gets too cold and then release it when it's too hot, so they also have a built-in thermostat. There's one more trick under its skin, and it's that when crocs spend all that time underwater, lactic acid starts to build up in them. But because osteoderms are made of mineralized bones, the minerals will slightly dissolve if the acid gets too high, releasing carbonate and bicarbonate ions that neutralize the acid and
This looks so scary. Like, this is just a swimming tank. This is bigger, like, I don't know. It looks really big. It's just a big ass tank with num num. It's just a biting tank.
raise the pH. Crocs are nature's nepo babies. Evolution gave them every cheat possible. And with salties growing up to 20 feet long and pressing the scales at often over 2,000 pounds, it's not like they needed more handouts. Especially when you realize, except for a tail that stores fat like a camel's hump, crocs are almost all muscle and look like a snake with legs with Kratos' knives for teeth. That tail is a lot stronger than you'd think, and the same one that can briefly airlift a plus-size predator would absolutely...
That looks crazy, and chat remind me just to never, ever visit a place with underwater tanks, please.
At least shatter your leg with a direct hit. But there might not be anything more unsettling than crocodiles having probably the most advanced eyes of any animal. Eyes nature put right at the top of their heads, so snappy lads can plot in your life while cosplaying as a log. Eyes that have a protective nictating membrane, so even attacking one of their few weaknesses still requires two-factor authentication, especially since they can retract their eyeballs. And like dolphins, crocs can rest half their brain at a time, meaning the pride of Steve Irwin can sleep with one eye open, and studies show they're more likely to do that when they're around humans. Also, they have night vision because of course they do. And that's not even the most broken part of it.
Chat. I need a horror game with gators. I need a horror game with gators. Hi Ultra, hi, and hi Afton, hi, how are you doing? I need a horror game with gators like that in the middle of the night. Just your flashlight reflecting in their eyes, and this is the face you'll see before they start chasing you in like a bad environment. Crocs are the cutest animals, trust. I mean, they look kinda cool, and they might be a little bit cute, especially the small ones. They're kinda curious. But look at this one. Look at this creature. This one around me, I would just cry, and probably 2 minutes later I'm dead because it would eat me. Let me know. Look, I don't think this exists so far. Chat, who wants to make a game? Who wants to make a horror game for me?
The fovea is a small part of the retina, but it's where vision is the sharpest, and it's what you use when you focus on a specific word on a page, or play Where's Waldo. And when you move your eyes to look at something, got him, that's you putting the image on your fovea. The problem is, what is a tiny dot for us is the shape of a skid mark in a crocodile. Having a fat fovea means nature's favorite predator can scan an entire shoreline without moving its head. If you still don't follow, get a book and try to read the entire page without moving your eyes once, and then realize how much of a middle finger this creature's existence.
Okay, this doesn't look real, but still, really frightening. Springtrap, thank you for the follow. Thank you. How are you doing? Welcome. Games, speaking of the games, there's gonna be a game. That's cool, that's cool. People that have knowledge to make games sounds really interesting. You found one? Is it a good one? Or is it like a goofy one? What's up? Hi Melian, hi, how are you doing? You're literally watching a video about them. That's fair. We're on 22 minutes, by the way. Oh damn, chat, I can't!
Especially since the Titanic Scale Demon has cockroach levels of plot armor. Crocodiles can tank freezing cold, extreme heat, radiation, and can live in waters contaminated with heavy metals. And with the diet of a morgue, they're resistant to nastiness like anthrax, cholera, and the most potent substance on Earth, botulism. They also have negligible senescence, meaning they don't really age the same way most animals do. It doesn't make them immortal, but it does mean that they never really stop growing and can easily pass 100. In fact, right now, there's a croc that's been alive since 1900. Like the year. Which means, other than a Greenland shark, I don't think there's another predator that can outlive a croc, and with them being nature's favorite, of course some sick muppet made them resistant to cancer. And many believe it's thanks to their gut, because the gut microbiome is said to be a huge part of your health, and a crocodile's gut community manages to UNO reverse cancer. An experiment found that their gut bacteria put the brakes on cancer, and slowed the growth of cancer-causing cells.
Reptiles are really crazy creatures.
Now I understand why Buddy from Spider-Man crashed out, especially since it turns out alligators and crocodiles can regenerate a lost tail. Crocodilian blood also throws hands with bad bacteria, and can dead diseases like salmonella and staph infections. This thing's built like a Dark Souls boss, and the fact that they can survive several acts of God yet get neutralized by a rubber band around the mouth proves nature has a sense of irony. But that's a lot better than getting folded by some of the diseases out there, and there's some stuff that Satan would second guess. Viewer discretion is advised, and this time, I'm so serious. I'm not being cute. If you're queasy and not built for body horror, go here before I ruin your whole day. Wasn't enough, nature gave an overachieving iguana the most broken build on the planet. Their abilities would get them banned in any game.
What a cute little creature.
A crocodile on a stakeout can hold its breath for hours, and alligators can survive a 5-month cold plunge. Low metabolism means they live on power save mode, and it's also why a crocodile can go up to 2 years without eating. God bless the bloke that—
Wait, they can go 2 years without eating? 2 years? What the hell? What is wrong with those creatures? Huh? Santissima? I don't know. Find out. Hi, welcome. How are you doing?
breaks his fast. It means crocodiles can wait out the times that would surely wipe out anything else, and now you see how an aggressive snout managed to reject the same death that found the dinosaurs. Crocs have been around since Saturn was single and still waiting on a rope.
That was a joke! Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. I was joking. Thank you, I really appreciate the support. Thank you for the 100 biddies. Well, there's a reason they survived the dinosaurs. Well, they are literal dinosaurs. These are the dinosaurs of today. They're like, I don't know, when dinosaurs doom scroll their TikTok feed, the crocodiles and the gators are just the new gens. They're just getting insulted as new gens, but they're crazy. They actually made it. I mean, they're alive. They got not wiped out by a meteorite and did not end up in my fuel tank of my race car. You know, chat. This is like, the gators made it at least. Back then they were even bigger. Yes, this is only the small little shrimp crocodile. I don't know. This is just a small size one.
And the fact that they can just suspend animation by putting their life on layaway just proves that they really are the teacher's pet of evolution.
Hi, Croc!
Also, crocodiles are more than capable of running fast enough to catch you off guard. Or at least a Cuban croc will, and this is the one time I wish it were AI. And whoever said you should run away from one in a zigzag is guilty of attempted murder. That is a myth that only ups the chance that you trip and go out like a horror movie. You could climb a tree, except they can do that too, because honestly, why not? They do everything else. And not only do they climb trees, according to scientists, they do it regularly, with them finding grown adults 10 feet in the trees and juveniles as high as 30.
So weird.
School taught you to be afraid of quicksand and giant Venus flytraps, yet somehow a drop gator was an unmentioned possibility. They can also climb fences of every kind. And again, you already know where this was taken. This is flagrantly Floridian. I think now's a good time to mention crocodiles are more related to birds than to a turtle, snake, or a lizard, meaning we just barely missed out on this freak being able to fly. Flightlessness aside, another thing they can't do.
Imagine a flying croc. Holy shit. It's a fucking dragon then. Well, maybe he doesn't spit fire yet, but if this thing is getting wings or like creative mode fly, it's over, chat. It's so over, especially the big ones. I mean, even the small ones, like all of them. That's some crazy work. What did nature? Oh, what is this witchcraft?
Well, is sea underwater. Their aquavision is actually kinda mid. We're this far into this video and we finally found a weakness. But don't get too excited, because nature overcompensated with something outrageous. Those pits seasoning the crocodile are pressure sensors, and it's how the ultimate predator can clock the smallest vibrations in the water. It completely erases their lack of water vision. In fact, you could hogtie a croc blindfolded, throw it into a pool, and let a leaky faucet drip on a complete opposite side. The croc will still know exactly where the water's coming from, while you won't know where he is until you wake up at a Tupac concert. And when murkiness brings the water's visibility to zero, they'll T-pose, spreading their legs and fingers to maximize an already broken ability.
Okay, this is... Well, I know, we're talking about bulletproof tanks that are really big, they can swim, but this looks so goofy! Why would you do that? Stop it!
And speaking of fingers, their jaws are more sensitive than yours. A dinosaur beast breathing like a nosegay, but let the croc tell it. That's the only demon that's slaying. And I don't know if I said this already, but let's not just walk past the fact that they can regenerate their tails like a starfish's arm. But the thing is, bears are berserker builds on steroids. Cats are four-legged fur ninjas, and orcas are the most cerebral serial murkers on the planet. What is it about this semi-aquatic bioweapon that makes me confidently call them the scariest predator on Earth? Oh, simple. They're a predator's predator. Is there a single predator that generates...
Why are you big? Why are they so big?
more anxiety in other predators? Even cheetahs aren't fast enough to cheat death in the hit range of the reptile. And the king of the jungle gets a severe vibe check when they're out of their element. Not to mention, crocodiles will savage sharks to the point where many believe bull sharks actively avoid them. The crocodile is the worst kind of predator. One with zero
Okay, first point, poor little shark. Crocodiles should definitely not attack a shark. This is really mean. Second, this elephant is so based for just kicking sand on a crocodile. This is probably my spirit animal if someone pisses me off.
Prejudice, which makes them a massive threat to the most successful predator of all time. Here's the thing, when a lion, tiger, or bear becomes a man-eater, it usually means something's wrong and they can't hunt their normal prey. Polar bears and Komodo dragons are famously less picky, but their home base is so remote that most people will never have to worry about them. Not only do crocodiles practice the worst kind of equality, they're basically everywhere. It's not that they actively go after humans, just that they genuinely don't care. Which is why it's the crocodile that turns more humans into hashtags than any other large predator, by a lot. And considering how and where they do it, that number could easily be higher.
This glowing
Even if
eyes,
you don't get killed by a crocodile, there's plenty of psychological damage that comes from being targeted by one. In 2003, 2 Australian teenagers spent 22 hours trapped in a tree.
I think being somewhere around crocodiles, I would always have something like a bat or I don't know, a metal pipe with me, or a bonk hammer. I don't know. If I see a head like that, we're just going bonk. Free me. Well, he wouldn't probably care and eat me, but I would at least try to bonk him. It would be at least pretty fun. Stop hit me! Don't bonk me!
Free, while being stalked by a 13-foot crocodile below, and the entire night was the two keeping each other awake so they wouldn't fall in. To make it even worse, thanks to a flood, the waters kept rising, and the croc seemed to taunt the two by showing off the body of the third friend it had already caught. The two would be saved, but only by helicopter, because really, what else can you do in that situation? Well, they didn't get it as bad as Ryan.
Maybe you can ask him to be friends.
Almost as big as the 20-foot kayak he was traveling in, and held captive on Governor Island, where the
I mean, imagine having this one as a friend would be kind of fire. You could just sit on this big water tank, just chill. This is kind of cool. I wanna have a gator chat. Can I have one? Like a nice one, pretty please.
Predator repeatedly made his presence known. 2 weeks with limited food and water, and a 20-foot undertaker that would chase him every time he tried to leave, and Ryan was hanging on by only a thread by the time he was rescued. That's the horror of being hunted by the greatest sit-and-wait predator of all time. Cause time is their greatest resource. You'll never have more of it than they do. And the fact that the big ones can go a year or more between meals and do their dirty work in murky water makes a man-eating crocodile the most difficult kind to deal with. Gustav was a Nile crocodile believed to be 20 feet long and well over 2,000 pounds. Believed because despite allegedly putting 300 people in past...
That's crazy! We're getting a shark, or we can adopt one. That's kinda cool.
tense and being repeatedly shot, the serial killer Croc was never officially caught. And despite reports of his death, because he was believed to have hatched in the 50s, there's a small but legitimate chance he's still out there, biding his time, just waiting for someone to...
Chat, we're back to spooky video quality, camera quality.
wander close enough to become 50 Shades of Prey. You never see them until it's too late, and once you do, you might not see them for another year. It's a self-cloaking carnivorous convict that the land before time left behind. This is the scariest predator on Earth. But of course, it's just an animal doing what comes naturally. They're not evil, just forged by millions of years of character development and mass extinctions. It's not hard to see why Steve Irwin rode so hard for them, and I wouldn't be doing Khaki Jesus justice if I convinced you to hate them. Now, with them it's respect, and a very healthy helping of fear, because moral of the story, always beware the old man in a game where men die young. And you always beware the landlord of Croc Country, because you'll never know when rent's due.
Yeah, chat. That was a nice video. Let's just never ever go to Australia, Florida, or whatever places there were mentioned with these crocodiles, like, or gators or whatever. Like, I don't care what they're called or what their specific thingy was.